right, we've got more questions coming up. Let's get 2 minutes on the clock for our next case. Your time starts now. All right, time is up, and here we have an inflammatory arthropathy, and with this kind of story, I'm hoping, and if you haven't already picked it up already, hopefully reading through the investigations kind of hints, you're probably looking at a case of rheumatoid arthritis here. So investigations here would be an FBE, ESR, CRP, rheumatoid factor as well, anti-CCP if it was on this list but it's not, and plain X-ray imaging of the bilateral hands there. And important to note, this would be bilateral hands given you've got both hands involved. Now, again, this is one of those situations where we're going to have more weighting towards particular things, and so here, what we're really trying to say is, are we certain this is rheumatoid arthritis, and checking your rheumatoid factor would certainly be giving you extra marks there. Likewise, you can get a lot of information out of plain X-ray imaging of those bilateral hands to see if there's anything else happening in those joints that could be contributing to a symptoms. Now, of course, these are your initial investigations. There is arguments as to whether or not you would do a anti-CCP straight away, or if you'd potentially wait for the rheumatoid factor to be there. And so in situations like this, you would probably find that would be either left off this list here, or I think you would probably get enough people in there putting that down as an answer that you'd probably get that mark there as well. But from this list here, these are the ones that make the most sense. All right, next question. Let's get 2 minutes back on the clock, and your time starts now. All right, time is up. And I think it's pretty easy to sometimes forget just how important non-pharmacological management can be for these kinds of conditions. Now, in the case of rheumatoid arthritis in particular, we know that aggressive weight control to get that BMI below 30 can have profound implications in ongoing management. Now, tied into that as well, things like regular exercise, looking after your heart more than anything else, can also be incredibly important. Now, we have specific mention here that this is impacting on her daily tasks due to the hand pain there. And so you would definitely be scoring some marks for referral to an occupational therapist for home modifications. Specifying why you're making that referral is very important. And really it's about then restoring that daily task functionality. So regular exercise, again, using RACGP guidelines, specifying that 30 minutes per day, at least 5 days per week, definitely going to score you. Psychosocial support, this is a chronic debilitating condition that often leaves people becoming increasingly reclusive as their functional capacity declines, and so referral to an appropriate support group, psychologist or online supports would definitely be worthwhile. We know that for rheumatoid arthritis, sleep is often very disrupted, and so sleep promotion can have overall health benefits as well as been shown to improve pain control. You would be wanting to get the cigarettes stopped, definitely, as well as thermotherapy, so hot packs or ice packs. Now, I did mention before about the cardiovascular risk profile being particularly important for rheumatoid arthritis. In fact, if you're doing the CVD risk calculators for anyone with this condition, multiply the value by 1.5 times. That's just how important it is to make sure that you're having these things under control, because inflammatory arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis puts people at significantly increased risk of cardiovascular events. All right, now we've got more questions, so let's get 2 minutes on the clock, and your time starts now. All right, now this is a case of shingles. We've got that classic appearance of that stripe of pus-filled vesicles in that incredibly painful rash. And we're within the appropriate time frame, within 72 hours, to be commencing our antiviral medications. So 3 specific management options. This would be oral valacyclovir or famciclovir in this instance, would get you the 2 marks. That's probably the most important thing to get in this instance. Oral paracetamol for further analgesia, oral ibuprofen for further analgesia, And it's pretty reasonable if there's significant pain, and this has specified very painful. It would be reasonable to also consider things like oral prednisolone, which has been shown to be a significant improvement in pain control, in particular when combined with paracetamol and ibuprofen in the case of shingles.